Most people believe that once you pass 75, building muscle is almost impossible. They're told their best years are behind them. That weakness is just part of aging, and that eggs or meat are the only real sources of protein that matter. But that idea has quietly robbed many older men of strength, confidence, and independence. Today, I want you to pause for a moment, because what I'm about to share may completely change how you think about muscle, aging, and food. After 50, and especially after 75, a man's body changes in very specific ways. Digestion slows down, inflammation rises, and the body becomes less efficient at using protein. Even if you eat eggs every day, your muscles may not be getting what they need. That's not because eggs are bad, but because the aging body struggles to break down heavy animal proteins. This is why so many older men say, "I eat well, but I keep getting weaker." The issue is not effort, it's absorption and timing. Muscle loss, or what many call age-related weakness, doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, year by year. First, you notice it when climbing stairs, then when standing up from a chair. Eventually, balance becomes shaky and energy drops. What's often missed is that muscle is not just about strength. Muscle controls blood sugar, protects joints, supports posture, and even helps the brain stay sharp. Losing muscle is not a cosmetic issue, it's a survival issue. Now here's the hopeful part. Even after 75, the body can still build muscle when it's given the right signals. One of the strongest signals is plant-based protein from certain vegetables and seeds that the body recognizes easily. Unlike heavy animal protein, these plant proteins come packaged with minerals, enzymes, and natural compounds that reduce inflammation instead of adding to it. This makes them far more usable for an aging system. Men after 50 often face another challenge: they eat protein at the wrong time. Many skip breakfast, eat lightly during the day, and then overload the body at night. That pattern worked when you were younger, but later in life it actually encourages muscle breakdown. The body needs steady nourishment earlier in the day, when digestion and metabolism are strongest. Protein taken in the morning and early afternoon is far more likely to be used for repair and strength. Lifestyle matters just as much as food. Gentle movement, especially in the morning, tells the body that muscle is still needed. A short walk, light resistance, or simple standing movements are enough to send that message. Without movement, even the best protein will be wasted. With movement, even modest amounts can rebuild strength. So if you've been told that muscle building after 75 is a lost cause, understand this clearly. Your body is still listening, it's still responding, and in the next part, I'll reveal the specific vegetable-based protein that many older men find easier to digest and more effective than eggs for maintaining strength and independence. Now let's talk about the vegetable protein that surprises almost everyone, especially men who have relied on eggs their entire lives. It's not a powder, not a supplement, and not something new or exotic. It's been quietly feeding strong bodies for generations, yet many older men overlook it because it doesn't come wrapped in marketing or muscle myths. This protein comes from legumes, especially lentils and chickpeas. What makes them so powerful for men over 50 is not just the protein itself, but how the body responds to it. Unlike eggs, which can sit heavy in the stomach and trigger inflammation in aging digestion, lentils are gentle. They break down slowly, releasing amino acids over time, which gives muscles a steady supply instead of a sudden spike that the body struggles to use. After 75, the stomach produces less acid and fewer digestive enzymes. That means dense animal proteins often pass through only partially absorbed. The body works hard but gets little in return. Lentils, on the other hand, are rich in natural enzymes, magnesium, potassium, and iron. These minerals help muscles contract, relax, and repair. Without them, protein alone does very little. Another overlooked benefit is fiber. Many men think fiber is only about digestion, but it plays a major role in muscle health. Fiber feeds the gut, and a healthy gut improves protein absorption. When the gut is inflamed or sluggish, muscle repair slows down. Lentils nourish the gut while feeding the muscles, something eggs simply cannot do. Timing is where this becomes even more powerful. When lentils are eaten earlier in the day, especially at breakfast or lunch, they support muscle repair when the body is most active. This is when hormones that protect muscle are naturally higher. Eating protein late at night often leads to poor sleep and less muscle benefit. Especially for older men, lifestyle choices amplify this effect. Men who sit most of the day send a message to the body that muscle is no longer needed. But even light activity changes everything. Standing up slowly from a chair multiple times, carrying groceries, or doing gentle wall push movements tells the body to use the protein it's receiving. Without these signals, protein becomes stored energy instead of strength. There's also the issue of hydration. Muscle tissue is mostly water, yet many older men drink less as they age. Without enough fluids, protein cannot be transported efficiently to muscle cells. Lentils naturally hold water in the body and support hydration better than dry animal proteins. What's important to understand is this: building muscle after 75 is not about eating more. It's about eating smarter earlier and in harmony with the body's slower rhythm. Lentils support that rhythm instead of fighting it. Let's slow this down and make it practical, because knowledge only helps when it fits into daily life. Many men hear about lentils and immediately think of long cooking times or heavy meals, but preparation is one of the reasons this vegetable protein works so well for older bodies. When lentils are soaked and cooked gently, they become soft, easy to digest, and deeply nourishing without taxing the stomach. After 75, chewing and digestion are often overlooked problems. If food is hard to chew or sits heavy, the body treats it like stress. Soft cooked lentils, especially when paired with simple vegetables, reduce that stress. This allows more energy to go toward repair instead of digestion. Even blending lentils into a smooth soup can dramatically improve absorption and comfort. Combining lentils with the right foods multiplies their effect. When eaten with leafy greens, onions, or garlic, the body absorbs minerals more efficiently. These foods improve circulation, helping nutrients reach muscle tissue. Adding a small amount of healthy fat like olive oil supports hormone balance, which plays a quiet but crucial role in muscle maintenance as men age. Now let's talk about quantity, because more is not always better. Older men often try to compensate for muscle loss by overeating protein. This backfires. The body can only use so much at one time. Smaller, consistent portions earlier in the day are far more effective. A bowl of lentils at lunch does more for muscle than a large protein, heavy dinner. Movement timing matters just as much as food timing. Muscles are most receptive to nourishment after gentle use. A short walk before a meal, or simple standing movements in the morning, prepare the muscles to receive protein. This is not about intense exercise. In fact, too much strain can increase inflammation and slow progress. Gentle, regular movement sends a clear message of need without causing stress. Sleep also plays a role many men underestimate. Poor sleep raises stress hormones that break down muscle tissue. Eating heavy animal protein late in the evening often disrupts sleep, while lighter plant-based meals support rest. When sleep improves, muscle repair improves naturally, without effort. There's also the mental side of aging that affects the body. Men who believe weakness is inevitable often move less, eat less thoughtfully, and accept decline as normal. But the body responds to expectation. When daily habits communicate care, purpose, and consistency, the body adapts even later in life. So understand this clearly. Lentils don't work alone. They work when paired with gentle movement, early day nourishment, good sleep, and a calm digestive system. This combination is what allows men well past 75 to regain strength, balance, and confidence. One of the biggest mistakes men make after 75 is believing that if something worked at 40, it should still work now. This mindset often leads to frustration, heavy meals, large portions of animal protein, and pushing the body too hard can actually accelerate muscle loss instead of preventing it. The aging body doesn't respond to force. It responds to consistency and care. Another common mistake is skipping meals, especially earlier in the day. Many older men say they're not hungry in the morning, so they wait until midday or evening to eat properly. But appetite is not the same as need. The body still requires nourishment to maintain muscle, even when hunger signals are weaker. A small, gentle meal earlier in the day can prevent muscle breakdown that happens silently when the body runs on empty. There's also confusion around protein variety. Relying on one source, whether eggs or meat, limits the range of amino acids and minerals the body receives. Lentils work best when they are part of a varied, simple diet. Rotating them with other legumes, vegetables, and whole foods keeps digestion active and absorption efficient. Variety reduces inflammation, which is one of the main drivers of muscle loss in later years. Hydration is another hidden issue. Many men drink less water as they age to avoid frequent bathroom visits. Unfortunately, dehydration stiffens muscles and reduces nutrient delivery. Even mild dehydration can make muscles feel weak and tired. Spreading fluids evenly through the day, instead of drinking large amounts at once, supports muscle function without discomfort. Lifestyle habits outside of food quietly shape results. Long periods of sitting send a message to the body that strength is no longer required, but the solution doesn't involve structured workouts or gym routines. Standing regularly, walking short distances, and using the body for everyday tasks are enough to preserve muscle when paired with proper nourishment. Stress also plays a role, even when it's not obvious. Worry, poor sleep, and irregular routines raise stress hormones that break down muscle tissue. Creating simple daily rhythms, eating at similar times, moving gently, and resting well signals safety to the body. In that state, repair becomes possible again. Many men also underestimate patience. Muscle gained later in life builds slowly, but it is real. The body prioritizes stability, balance, and endurance before visible size. This is a good thing. Strong, functional muscle protects against falls and injuries, which matter far more than appearance. So if progress feels slow, understand that the body is choosing strength where it matters most. Avoid the trap of doing too much, eating too much, or expecting quick results. Quiet consistency wins here. Let's bring all of this into a simple, encouraging truth. Building muscle after 75 is not about fighting age. It's about working with the body as it is now. When nourishment, movement, rest, and rhythm come together, the body responds, often more willingly than people expect. Strength at this stage of life looks different. It shows up as steadier steps, easier movement from sitting to standing, better balance, and more energy through the day. These changes protect independence. They allow a man to continue living on his own terms, without fear of becoming fragile or dependent. That kind of strength begins with how the body is fed and cared for daily. Vegetable proteins like lentils provide a foundation the aging body understands. They are gentle, nourishing, and supportive rather than demanding. When eaten earlier in the day, prepared simply, and combined with light movement, they send a powerful signal to the body that muscle is still needed, still valued, and still supported. Consistency matters more than perfection. Missing a day does not undo progress. What matters is returning to the routine without judgment, gentle movement each day, regular meals, adequate fluids, and restful sleep build a quiet momentum that grows over time. The body remembers how to repair when given the chance. There is also something important to say about mindset. Many men are told to accept weakness as normal, but acceptance should never mean neglect. Caring for the body is not vanity. It is responsibility. Each small habit communicates respect to the body, and the body responds with strength, resilience, and stability. If you are over 75, or even well past it, understand this clearly: your body has not stopped adapting. It has simply slowed its pace. When you slow down with it, when you nourish it gently and move it regularly, it meets you there. Muscle can still be built, strength can still be restored, confidence can still grow, so start simply. Eat earlier. Choose foods that support digestion and reduce strain. Move gently but daily. Rest well. Over time, these quiet choices add up to a stronger, steadier body that supports you, just as it always has. And that is the true goal: not to turn back time, but to move forward with strength, dignity, and